Welcome to the Missouri Valley, One Valley Voices for Change podcast. I'm Kelly Burke, and today I'm so pleased to be joined by Evansville volleyball head coach Fernando Morales and senior outside hitter Alondra Vasquez as we celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month. Welcome to both of you. Good to see you. You're both in different parts of the world, so let's start there. Coach, give us a little update. You're playing in the World Cup right now, so give us an update of where you are.
Yes, we're in Netherlands right now in Rotterdam, the second round of the World Championships. We started in Arnhem and passed to the second round. We're in the top 16 teams in the world right now. So we're excited about that, but we have, of course, a tough pool. Looking forward to, it has been a great experience. Hopefully we can finish strong, and also looking forward towards the end of the Missouri Valley Conference. It's been a crazy start. Everybody beating each other.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been up until 4 a.m. watching my team play the 4 nights we played. I'm excited about this weekend and then being there back next week and continuing this season with the team.
Yeah. So Alondra, what is that like with Coach over not across the world, but he's over in the Netherlands, and you guys keeping tabs on what he's doing with the Puerto Rican national team? And
well, in the beginning it was a little bit hard because we're used to how Coach Fernando never practice, but I feel like he prepared us so well. So like even though he's not here, like we know what we need to do, and like we all go 100% all the time. Also, like he see our practice or game, like he said, he's always up until like 4 a.m. to see our games, and like after every game he always like texts us like, hey, like we need to get better at this, or we did this good, so every time he's like not here like physically, but like he's there. It's like 50-50.
Yeah, that's amazing. Both of you're both from Puerto Rico, and you're both of obviously Hispanic heritage. So Alondra, let's start with you. Just how has being from Puerto Rico and your Hispanic heritage, how has that shaped you?
So yeah, me actually being from Puerto Rico, of course, we're Hispanics, we're Latinos. Our country is so small. So for me, being in US playing Division I volleyball is like huge for me, my family, my friends. So like, I represent UE, but also represent my country. I represent the Hispanic group, the Latino group. So yeah, it's awesome. It feels really great.
Coach, what about you? Because you're also from Puerto Rico, slightly different part, I believe.
Yeah, we're like 20 minutes apart, like our houses are from each other. But yeah, nice. Like Alondra said, playing volleyball in Puerto Rico, we know and we follow Division I volleyball and see every division, of course. But our hopes is to get to the highest division. And being there and being seeing Alondra, Melanie, Julia, all those kids being so successful at this level, it let us know we belong here, and we are working hard. We are a big shout out to the University of Evansville athletic department. They're very open. They're very helpful with whatever we need, especially now. They're letting me be here and not be with the team, and they're supporting me all the time. So they know that we have other things going on. It's not only being there, and they allow us to do all these different things to represent our country. Alondra was with us in the national team in the summer in the Challenger Cup. So they let us, we are very proud of where we come from, and they let us represent our country. So thanks to them for that.
Yeah, well, speaking of the Challenger Cup, I mean, you both were a part of it this summer in Croatia in July. And so what were the biggest memories from being able to share that experience together as part of the Puerto Rican national team?
I think.
Oh, go, Coach. You go.
Right. For me, I think having Alondra there, gave me. She knowing me so well, even better than the national team players that I coached only for 2 years, and the last 2 years have been crazy because of COVID. Yeah. I work with Alondra for 5 years now every day. So, she knows how I react, and sometimes I overreact to things, and she was the voice to tell the players, like, it's okay. He's not mad at anyone. He's just like that. So she helped me a lot in that regard. And, having Alondra that I know so well, I know what she brings to the court. So went to bring her in, and she came in against Croatia in a really important moment, and we won one set and almost won the next one when she came in. So, having a player that knows so much help me both in the court and out of the court with the girls, handling the whole situation.
Yeah. Alondra, how about you?
Yeah, for my side, I helped him, but he also helped me a lot because, like that was my first time ever going because I played in June with the sub-23. Then we went to represent the big national team because the Puerto Rican League at home was going on, so we had to replace them. But for the Croatia tournament, I went with the national team. So I literally was playing with all my idols, see them playing since little, and then having coach there, it was like, okay, like I know Coach Fernando, like he gave me that confidence to like play. And then when I went in, I was like, I got this, like I know coach, he put me because he trusts me. So it was like so nice. And then I learned a lot from like all the players. They give me so many advices, like it was just wonderful.
Yeah. Alondra, when you came in 5 years ago now as a freshman, how much did having Fernando, and his Puerto Rican ties influence your decision to be an ace?
Yes, so our last coach also was he was also Puerto Rican, but then having Coach Fernando, like it was two Puerto Rican coaches, which is nice because then I would learn faster. Also, I was really struggling with English my freshman year, so I literally couldn't talk at all. I was
really?
like, yes, and I'm a com major, so I like to talk, I like to interact with people, but you can ask Coach Fernando, I would not talk a single word because I was scared. I was like, I don't know what to say, I didn't understand. And then having him coming in and then having my other coach, they hey, you got this, like you gotta talk. And then if I didn't understand they talk Spanish, so like helped me a lot. And then just having him there all the time during the years, and then he put me now, like he take me to the national team. It's a great opportunity for me, so I just love it having there.
Well, your English is so good now, so that's
Thank
amazing.
you.
I mean, I would never have guessed that. Wow.
No, I didn't talk English. You can ask Fernando.
What when you were a freshman, what was the biggest transition going from Puerto Rico, where you're from and live, to Evansville, Indiana? I mean, it's just drastically different.
It was a lot. It was like that was my first time leaving my family, so my family part wasn't the hardest part for me. I think was the language, because I was struggling classes, communicating. Also the food is really different from what we eat at home, so I was a little struggle there. And also the weather, because it's hot all the time in Puerto Rico, so I hate cold. So I was like, I hate this place, I don't like the coldness. So but now I'm fine. Now I'm a 5th-year senior, I'm used to it, so it's now it's good.
Yeah, I understand the cold thing. I live in Florida, so I get you there, and I'm originally from Arizona. So
really, no, I can handle cold.
Fernando, how has the local Hispanic community in Evansville really embraced you and your team?
Yeah, we have a kind of small Puerto Rican community. I run a club as well in the Evansville United Volleyball Academy, and we have 4 or 5 Puerto Rican coaches, other than the ones in
UE.
at UE. So we have a small group of 10, 12 people from Puerto Rico that we get together all the time. And we also met people from all over Mexico, Colombia, a lot of places. And we try to do things together. I think we were surprised that there were so many Hispanic or Latin people in Evansville. Okay. But they are, and they're proud of that. And so we have a lot of choices in food or where to go to speak Spanish, and we get together as a group also. So yeah, it's when we get homesick, we know who to call and where to go. So we get our minds clear and get back to work.
That's wonderful.
And I want to jump in.
Sure, go ahead.
To say, we have in the UE, like in general, like outside of volleyball, they have like a Latino group. And they're like, they know is so many like Latino or Hispanic in the volleyball team, so they support us so much. Like literally, they're in every game, and like they bring flags. For example, it's like 2 new Puerto Ricans coming in, and like 2 Puerto Ricans enjoying the university. So like they're like, oh my God, so many Puerto Ricans around. So like they're part of the group now, and for this month they're doing so many things just because of us, because like it's so many Latino people in the volleyball team. So they're like very supportive, like outside of volleyball and other stuff.
That's so great to hear. This is for both of you. Alondra, we'll start with you. What is something that most people don't realize about the Puerto Rican culture?
Oh, that was a tough question. Coach, do you want to start?
I can jump in. Yeah, the hardest part, and maybe we cannot even explain it, is the relationship between Puerto Rico and USA. We're not a state, but we have US passports, so we're part of USA, but we have our own national team. Yeah. So that's, people, we don't know how to explain it because it's super complicated and people don't know. A lot of people don't even know we're part of USA. A lot of people know, but don't know to what extent. They don't know if we vote for president, that we vote, if we have US passport. So that's super complicated. But other than that, they know a lot of about Puerto Rico because of baseball players that played from Puerto Rico that played in major leagues and all sports or artists or singers. So they do know about Puerto Rico. They just, I think the most complicated thing is that relationship with Puerto Rico and the USA.
Yeah, that makes sense. How much of the, my mom is from Pennsylvania, and the area she specifically grew up, there was a Puerto Rican community nearby. And one thing that I always noticed when I would meet people in that community is just the family feel. Mm-hmm. So how much is the Puerto Rican culture, Alondra, really rooted in family?
Yeah, we're like super familiar. Like when we're in Evansville, when we see a Puerto Rican, it's like, oh my God, you're Puerto Rican. Can I have your number? Can I invite you over? Can I see you again? It's like we're super familiar because, like, at least here in the Midwest, in Indiana, in Evansville, you don't see a lot of like Latino or Puerto Rican. So every time we see someone, it's like, you're my family. You don't know me, but I'm your family. And whatever you need, I'm here for you. So yeah, we're like, everything is around family. Like Christmas, you have to be with your family. So yeah.
Fernando, of the players on your team, you've got the three, including Alondra from Puerto Rico. You've got Julie from Argentina. Most of your staff, I believe, is of Hispanic heritage, if not all of them. How have you all included the rest of your team in understanding and, but more importantly, celebrating your Hispanic heritage?
I think the players have done that very well. We ran to our culture is a player-based culture. It's not a coach saying what to do. The captains always say the rules and put the culture in. I think it's more natural that way. So because it comes from the player, I think they want to learn more about where Alondra or Melanie or Julia or Laura come from. So they start learning and respecting us more and try to find out more and learn more and help us more. It was back a month ago or 3 weeks ago, there was a hurricane that passed through Puerto Rico and everybody was asking and trying to help. So I think thanks to the players that we have there, they have created conscious of what's Puerto Rico, what's Argentina, what goes on there. If they need to help with something, they always do. So I think that's, and I think all the credit is to the players and right now to Alondra because she's one of our captains.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say our team take this moment like super personal because we have so many Latinos. They like feel special that they have us in the team. So they make it like a big deal. They're like, we want to do this. We're gonna make shirts. We're gonna make a volleyball theme game going on. Like they really work really hard because like not everyone in the conference or like in the country has so many like Latina players in a team. So they're like, okay, we have them, so we gotta celebrate them. So they take it really personal and like they commit. If they want to do something, they're like, hey, we had this idea, can we make it happen? And we talk to coach and coach is like, yeah, sure, we can make whatever you guys want. So they're like super commitment about we want to do this and we're gonna do it,
Yeah, that's great. So obviously you have a ton of support within your own team. For other teams out there in the college landscape, how can Hispanic athletes be best supported by their teammates and coaches?
I think it's just being open. I think the U.S., especially the sports community in the U.S., is very open-minded and very willing to accept people and help people. And that's what sports is about, not only people from other countries or other backgrounds, but from the same backgrounds. So that's what, sports teach us. It's not only about getting scholarships or playing pro or, making money. I think knowing other people, knowing how to work in a team with people that are different with you, have different personality, different background. I think team sports do that a lot. So I will tell the other Hispanic players that are around the country to be open. I'm sure they will find teams and coaches that will want to help them and accept them.
Alondra, anything you want to add there?
No.
Okay. Coach, I wanted to add, 2 years ago, you became the head coach of the Puerto Rican women's national team. You were also a captain of the Puerto Rico men's national team as a player, though, back in the day. So how full circle of a moment has it been for you being on both sides of it, first as a player, but now as a coach?
I think when I retired as a player from the national team, I never thought I was going to be here again. It was so fun, and we take so much pride in representing our country, and it's so much fun when you come to these trips and go to all these different places and meet these different people. And I thought it was over for me when I retired as a player. And then when I got the call and the opportunity, I didn't think about it. I am very grateful with the athletic department that they allow me to do this, even when I lose some games during season. And I try to do my best to be there when I'm not there. But we, like I told you, we take a lot of pride on representing our country and having these experiences, especially here, being in the World Championship with the top teams in the world. It's there's no better thing in volleyball. I'm with the best in the world competing. So I think, this is the highest you can go in volleyball.
Yeah. What is, you touched on it briefly when we started this, but what's the juggling act looked like as Evansville's head coach, but also the Puerto Rican national team coach? Because you've been all over the world this summer, and obviously you're coming back to the United States and Evansville here fairly shortly.
Yeah, so the downside is I don't have any time to go visit the Netherlands. I'm working all day. I'm in the morning waking up, doing the watching practice from Evansville, doing the scouting reports for this weekend, calling players, calling coaches to do the plan for this weekend, and then the afternoon hits, and then I have to do the scouting reports for Puerto Rico national team, watch video, run practice, coach the game. So it's been like I'm in Netherlands, but I haven't seen a lot of the country. Hopefully the last day I can get to see something, because I've been working the whole day. And then when the weekends come, Fridays we play at 1 a.m. local time here, and then Saturdays at midnight. So I'm up until 3-4 in the morning to wake up at 8 to start over again. Wow. So it's been a lot, but I love it. It's what I love, and the two things I'm most I like to represent, that is the Puerto Rico national team, and Evansville has been great to me, so I like to be there for them as well.
Yeah. Alondra, how do you think coach being a part of the Puerto Rican national team, how do you think it's benefited you guys at Evansville the most? Just him having that experience, also you having that experience too.
Yeah, I feel he's great, because then when people look at him, they can be like, oh yeah, he's the coach of the Evansville volleyball team. Then he like spray the boys of our small town, and also he can bring players from international places. If he like a girl from, I don't know, Mexico team, he can be, hey, I am a coach from the NCAA, play the best volleyball in the US, and then he can bring some girls from different countries. So I feel like really beneficial. He representing the national team, he representing UE, he can bring girls over, he can do a lot of things.
Yeah. This next question for both of you, we'll start with Fernando. What are the best ways to amplify the voices of Hispanic athletes?
I think nowadays there's so many ways with social media and the internet being accessible to everybody. I think our department does a great job of using those outlets. I think also every player and us as coaches, we have to use our own personal social medias to spread the voice. Like I told you, we have 4 now. We have a lot Hispanic players. We have maybe 7 since I've been there, and they're all been very successful. So we have to be that voice that there's a chance to come to the U.S. and play any division volleyball, even Division I. We can be very successful coming from the Hispanic background. So again, I think our department does it really well. We thank you for helping us do that with this podcast, and I think we should get more involved in our personal accounts.
Yeah. Alondra, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I will say like never be afraid to speak if you feel like something, if you feel happy, you should say, hey, I'm happy here. I feel like very blessed. If you feel sad, if you have inconvenience, always like be the voice. You're always gonna have someone to support you. You're gonna have your teammates, your coaches, your school, your department. So always be like, if you gotta say something, respectfully, you say it. Hey, I think this, even, because of where we come from or something, just don't be afraid to like say what you think, and like, you can speak, and maybe another person feels like you feel and was afraid to say it. So make sure you're always like, if you gotta say something, don't be afraid of it.
Yeah. Well, going back to last year's season, Evansville, that you made the postseason for the first time in program history. It was the Aces' best season since 1988. How much pride do both of you take in the progress the program has made? Alondra, you've been here, this is your 5th year now, and obviously, Coach, you've been here longer than that even.
Yeah, we've been here the same time. We and Alondra, you got in the same year.
We got here together.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, seeing the program grow, it's been, very something we appreciate a lot, especially when we got here, the program was growing, but very slowly. So last 4 years, seeing it grow so fast, it's been, you can see the work this girl's put into. And I took, like, the first year Alondra was here as a freshman, I was the assistant coach, and I took over as a head coach the next year. This girl started a different culture that we should get more together and care more about the program. And it's not only about winning or losses. Of course, that matters a lot, but, having the program grow in different ways. And then all the credit goes to the girls. Alondra has been here for these 5 years, and every girl that comes in buys into the program. And we had a great year last year because of that. Not because we had 1 or 2 really good players. It's because the 14 players, 15 players have bought into what we want to do, and we've been successful doing that.
Yeah, for sure. What Coach say, I feel also like since Coach Fernando takes over our team and being a head coach, we definitely like change our culture. And I'm been here since 5 years, and I think I'm be captain by 3. So I always like make sure that whatever I teach my freshmen, my sophomore, we keep that culture. So when I'm gone, they keep doing the same thing what we did to be successful for the to keep going our program to be successful. So I always make sure me as a captain, I teach them what I learned from Coach, what he always tell me, like, hey, your team is first, no matter what, we stick together. So I always make sure that I teach my girls, my lower classmates too, hey, this is what we're gonna do, this is where we're gonna stick, and it's gonna make us better in the future. So I always teach them that since the beginning.
Alondra, where have you seen the biggest change in just the team's mindset over the last 5 years?
I feel compared to my freshman year than now, we always, before it was like, we lost, it's okay, like we didn't matter. Now we actually care. It's like we know we gotta win. Now we lost last week, and now we're gonna coming hard this week. We're gonna work the double harder because we're gonna be better. We wouldn't want to be the team that was like I don't know, like 6 years ago. So we want to be better. So I feel that mentality of like, no matter what happened, we're gonna work harder. We want to win. We want to go out there and win. That's what the biggest change I can see from like past years than now.
Yeah. This one's for both of you, but Coach, I'll start with you. The 3 players you have from Puerto Rico, and Alondra included in that, and then we'll throw Julia in there too from Argentina. What is unique to their game and the style of volleyball played in Puerto Rico, and in Julia's case, Argentina, that's really benefited Evansville as a team? Because I definitely, I don't know, there's just a noticeable difference in the style a little bit of how they play.
Yeah, I think because in Puerto Rico, we don't have so many players that, like here in US, players have to be more complete. That's why you see Alondra, Melanie, and Julia, they play 6 rotations and they do everything well. And maybe we don't have as big clubs and maybe so many coaches. So sometimes you get coaches that are not as experienced. So maybe you don't learn so much technique or tactics. So you learn how to read the game, and that's why you see these players are so natural, if you can say that, because they just play, and they learn from they were 4 or 5 years old. They started playing and they learn how to read the game, and they learn how to. And Alondra was a setter too, and Julia was a middle before, and Melanie. So we have to play every position and know every position, and think that's a huge advantage over players here that we specialize them too early in the U.S. sometimes, and they don't know how, like, they don't have that game, like all around game, and they don't know how to read the game like maybe the players from Puerto Rico or Argentina or smaller countries.
Yeah, that's so interesting. That's such a good point. And Alondra, I had no idea you used to be a setter. So yeah. How did you transition? Because I mean, you can really tee off on people now, and you've got that power whip of an arm. So
thank you. Well, I was since little I was really good with my hands, and so when I turned to 14, one of my coaches, Milton, which is really close to Coach Fernando, I will play outside or right side in front row, and then when I would go back, I would set. So when I was 14, he was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. This is terrible. So we got to get you something that you're gonna be, good in the future. So he started with my passing, and he's like, when you actually can pass, like you're a great passer. So I feel you can be the outside hitter. So in the beginning, the transitional setting, and then he would like say, hey, practice at 4. I watch you here at 3, and we would practice just passing. So he helped me a lot in becoming an outside hitter. So from there until now, it was just outside, no more setting for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how old were you when you started playing volleyball?
I was 5.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, because my dad was a volleyball coach at home, and he just put me there.
Okay. Well, Fernando, I came across, I was doing some digging, and so I'd love to have the backstory here. I saw some pictures you posted of your dad, who I believe was on the Puerto Rican basketball team, national basketball team, and there was pictures of him actually being guarded by Michael Jordan. So what is the backstory with that?
Yeah, so my dad, he played in the basketball national team for 20 years. He's a 2-time Olympian. Should have been a 3-time Olympian. They qualified for Moscow when the U.S. didn't go, and Puerto Rico decided not to go. So there's one picture in 1983 when Jordan was in college still, and the USA national team used to play with college players. So my dad was already in the national team back then. And then the other one is 92 when the Dream Team played. My dad was in that 92 Olympics in Barcelona. And actually, I went to watch the Olympic qualifier in Portland. So I did go watch that first Dream Team. That was one of the best experiences in my life. So yeah, but my dad in Puerto Rico everybody knows him. The stadium in my hometown is named after him, and there's a statue of him in front of the stadium.
Wow,
so yeah,
really?
we're a big sport family. My mom used to play in the volleyball national team. My uncle was the captain of the basketball national team, so we're a big sports family.
So how did you, because your family, basketball and volleyball, how much pressure did you get to play basketball over volleyball from your dad?
So he never told me or put me pressure. After I decided volleyball, my mom will tell me that I got all the pressure. My mom got all the pressure because he thought she was pushing me to play volleyball, but no one did, I think. And I played both until I was 20. Okay. Actually, I got recruited to college to play basketball. I never played basketball. I played volleyball.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, I decided when I was 20, I couldn't do both anymore. So I decided for volleyball. And I think, it went okay for me.
Yeah, I'd say it went really well for you.
Yeah.
As you sort of mentioned earlier, you're also, besides Evansville's head volleyball coach and the Puerto Rican women's national team coach, you're also the technical director of the Evansville United Volleyball Academy. How have you worked to grow the game of volleyball in the Evansville community?
I don't want to take the credit. We have a great group in the club. My wife Michelle does a lot. Coach Tony does a lot. Melissa, my assistant coach. Now Alondra is involved. Melanie is involved also, and it has grown a lot. When I got to Evansville, we had 7 teams in the club. Now we're up to 28. I think we have committed 12 kids to Division I, 8 to Division 2, a couple to Division 3. So we are growing the game a lot, and of course it helps everybody now that USI is in Division 1, 2. That helps a lot also. So volleyball is growing a lot in the Midwest. Volleyball is not dominated by California anymore, and that's a great thing. So we want to keep it growing in the area, and take advantage not only for us. We have some girls in other schools in the MVC that went to our club. So we are happy to be helping everybody, and especially the MVC, to grow and get better.
Yeah, Alondra, what is it like to be part of that group?
Oh, I love it. I love coaching. I feel like I learned so much as a being coaching. I learned so much as a player, because sometimes I'll be telling my girls, you did this wrong, and I'm like, but you do it too. So you learn a lot being a coach such a young age. So I love it, and I'm sad because I'm graduating in December that I will be part of it, but I know anytime I need to come back, I will.
Yeah.
Funny,
go ahead.
The first tournament Alondra coached this year, she was nervous and she had a lot of notes. And after the first game, she came to me and like, I'm you, coach. And I say the exact same thing she told me, and she was freaking out about that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was like, I don't want to be you, coach. Come on.
Nice. Alondra, Fernando, obviously he played professionally. He was a 3-time pro league champ. How has that helped, and just the experience he's had not only as a coach but as a player professionally, helped you with some of your post Evansville goals of I would assume playing professionally?
Yeah. First, I like that he was a player before, because I feel he understands me a lot. Like, he was a player, he understands when I'm frustrated, when things don't go to my way. He understands me because he played volleyball. Also, he helping me a lot because I want to play pro after UE. So he gave me advice, and he gave me, hey, I think you should do this. It's gonna be better for you. I recommend you this. So he helped me a lot in like how I am now, and I think he's gonna help me way more when I want to, play pro and decide what I'm gonna do after.
Yeah, awesome. For the first time in Missouri Valley Conference history, Evansville will be hosting the volleyball championship in November. So, Coach, I'll start with you. What is the excitement level like to bring it to the community there?
Yeah, like we talked before, the volleyball community is growing so much. The club community is very excited to be there, watch it. Our team, of course, when we got the news, we didn't believe it. And the department is making a great job of organizing and getting ready for it. So I think it's gonna be a great atmosphere. They're gonna put a great show. Mix, if you haven't been to Mix Family Fieldhouse, it's a small gym, but it feels like there's 10,000 people in it because it gets loud. So hopefully we can make a run and make it loud in there. We are still figuring out a lot of things since we lost Melanie this year. She won't be able to play, but we have players that can come in and do the job, but we're still adjusting to the things. So we're hoping we can get it together before the MVC tournament and make a run. I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Alondra, what about you? What's the excitement level like, especially being your final year?
Yes, when Coach told me, I was so excited because it's my last year, and I was like, Coach, why we don't do the tournament every year? And then this year, finally, we made it. So I'm happy for that. That is my last year. I got to play at home, also because my family will be able to come.
Oh, good.
Yes, the last 2 times we made it to the tournament, my parents couldn't because it was like in a different places, so it's hard for them. But this year it's at home, so it's easier. So all my family can come over, and that's just make me happy.
That's great. As we kind of close this podcast, any closing thoughts on how everyday people can be a good ally to our Hispanic friends and neighbors? Obviously, in the collegiate landscape space, that's just sort of a given. We do that, but from a broader sense in the more general community, and Alondra, I'll start with you.
I will say all the time, if people have questions about where we come from, how is our culture, how is everything, just always ask. We love to share where we're from, our culture is, like we love it. So every time if you got a question, you always can ask, no matter what. We're just gonna be able to tell you, yeah, we love it.
Fernando.
Yeah, I think people are care more than what people think. And I go with a story. Last year we had an unfortunate incident in one game from a random fan, and when we talked about it, all the conference came together, all the coaches reached out to us, all the players reached out to our players. We did a video before our games, and we felt that support and people wanting to help us. So I think people don't openly talk about it, but they do really support us, and they do really want us to feel at home, regardless if it's our teammates from Evansville or people from other teams in our conference. We every game we go to, we feel like they support us, and they acknowledge how successful people like players like Alondra and Melanie have been. They always wanted to ask them and talk to them when they get hurt. They ask them why they're not playing. They want to know and to support them.
Yeah. Last one from me, and then I'll give you a chance to add anything you both want to add. But the next time that I'm traveling to Puerto Rico, if I have to go get a meal, what should be my go-to meal there?
Mofongo.
And explain what that is for people that don't know.
Yeah, it's like a plantain that we have at home, and then you fry it, and it's like you make it like a little bowl, and it's like you can put chicken, beef, seafood, whatever you like, and you just put it inside, and you have to get it with mayo ketchup, which is like ketchup and mayo.
Okay.
It's the sauce we have at home, and then you just eat it.
Nice. Coach, what about you? Any recommendations?
I think mofongo is the most popular one, but the rice and beans in Puerto Rico are also very good and very popular. So yeah. But yeah, mofongo is definitely the first thing that comes to mind. Okay,
good to know. I'll file that away. Before I let you go, anything that each of you would like to add, about Evansville, about your team, about your own, Puerto Rican heritage and the Hispanic culture, or anything we haven't talked about so far?
I think we've covered a lot, most if not a lot of it. Again, I just wanted to thank our department, the MVC in general, not only the officers of the MVC that they've been very supportive, but the other teams and athletic departments. They always have been very helpful and asking, and we have any trouble because I don't know, we might not understand everything to perfection because English is not our first language. They're always willing to help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we appreciate that you guys are having us and take your time for do this type of interview that I'm sure that is really helpful for other girls and families and programs.
Yeah, well, it's great to see you both. I'm looking forward. I'll see you both in person next weekend, a week from this weekend at Illinois State. Look forward to calling your game then. But thanks so much for taking the time with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.